SARS was created to check, robbery cases and all of that. Now with the disbandment, are we going to have peace, totally? But again, some people will say that SARS have gone outside the framework of their operations, and that's why they got to go. If you look at the papers this morning, the Sun particularly captioned with SARS RIP. Interesting headline anyway. But we're here, and we want to also look at the issue dispassionately, and that's why we've gone very far to actually make it a very full house this morning. We have on my far right, Mr. Ayade Shorinke is a public analyst. He's joining us this morning to look at this issue. Good morning, Mr. Shorinke. Now, next to him is the PPRO, the PRO of the State Police Command, DSP Mbala Oyemi, is also here this morning. We've had to drag him. It's been lots of hard work for him over the weekend, and he has to be here somehow this morning. Good morning, PPRO. Good morning. Good to have you. We also have Ms. Honorable Larry Jaji, a public commentator, popular public commentator, also joining us this morning. Good morning, Honorable Jaji.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, everybody.
Let's start with PPRO. PPRO, we usually released yesterday that Ogun State Police Command has complied with the directive of IGP. Can you let us into details of that compliance?
Yes, the Inspector General of Police gave a directive that a special anti-robbery squad has been dissolved across the country, of which Ogun State is not an exception, and because of that, we need to quickly comply with that directive. And when we say we comply with the directive, what do I mean? The operatives of now arrested SARS were asked to submit their operational gears. That is the jacket they always put on with inscription of SARS, and their office at Magu. They need to remove that inscription, SARS office, from there, while the operatives will be waiting for further directives as to where they are going to be posted to. So that is the level of compliance for now, and I think with that, I believe nobody will have any cause to go on the street now that you want to protest for answer, because what we said it should be ended has been ended. So if anybody now go out that you still want to protest, that means the person is having an ulterior motive.
Yes, I know you're still going to answer a lot of questions on this program this morning. Some people have also complained about the protests that we had in Ogun State that led to some arrests, and the one that we had in Lagos. What's the difference? You say you arrested some people here with charms, with guns, and all of that.
Yes, the difference is clear. In Lagos, I don't think you have anywhere where police station is being attacked, where police personnel is being attacked. I don't think we have any situation like that in Lagos. But here in Ogun State, the video of what happened in Ijebu has gone viral. Our police post at Ijebu was violently attacked. Not only that they attacked all those police stations, Ijebu, Ososa, and Idowa police post, those who were hiding under the protest, they actually went for looting spree. Yes, imagine somebody, a protester, who was seen vandalizing properties in the police station, and we call that one peaceful protest. A protester who was seen taking away a motorcycle that was parked inside the police station, a protester who was seen taking away television that was removed from the police station. As if that was not enough, those that protested in Abeokuta, I think they can best be described as hoodlums. Yes, because when the first thing that we saw that made one wondering the purpose of this protest is somebody who was going on protest, and they put on this Yoruba outfit of a war apparel, and they moved like Babalawo. They moved from Panseke to Alake Palace, where the Commissioner of Police was on ground. The Kabiyesi Alake addressed them. The Commissioner was addressing them, and they started throwing stones at the Commissioner of Police.
Is it true they went to one Owu festival?
No, I'm coming. From there, they moved straight to Olowu Palace. where the annual Owu Day Festival was ongoing, where we have in attendance the Deputy Governor of the state, we have in attendance the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and they violently disrupted the festival to the extent that they vandalized the Deputy Governor's car. I don't know when the Palace of Olu will become an extension of SARS office. But I don't think whether Olu has ever been a SARS officer. Now they move from there to SARS office. They started throwing stone, throwing all sorts of weapons at the policemen, and those one have to repair them. And some of them were arrested, and they were arrested with recovered one pump action rifle from them, 2 locally made pistols, several rounds of ammunition, and assorted charms.
So which means it was their conduct that led to the arrest?
They conducted more or less like criminals.
So Nigerians have the legitimate right to protest?
You have the right to protest. Even in the police were even giving them protection. We have about 4 or 5 patrol vehicles that were guarding them. Not until when they went out of their way, they started looting, started vandalizing, and all sorts of things. If we are protesting, we always warn that once you are protesting, you should be able to ensure that your protest is not hijacked by hoodlum and miscreants. And that is exactly what happened.
Mr. Shonke, misplaced protest or right protest?
I think it's the right protest that went south. From what the PPR has said, you could understand that there are people that SARS have actually checked in the course of the operation. And I'm sure many of them will infiltrate the people who are actually trying to make the protest peaceful. And some of them, they have some resentments against SARS beyond those that probably felt they have been maltreated, their human rights have been, violated because of the operation of SARS. There are people that SARS have actually checked from crimes, people that have been involved in crimes, and one way or the other they've gotten into the net of SARS. You should understand that most of these guys are miscreants, and when you put up a public protest, they will definitely infiltrate the ranks. And I want to believe these are probably the people that made the protest go south, as the PPR has explained. I don't want to believe that the people that had the original intention of the protest have in mind of taking it violent.
The Guardian reported this morning that that protest was actually done along ethnic lines, that we didn't actually see protests in other parts of Nigeria, especially in the north. That we've only seen those protests, we only saw protests in the southern parts of Nigeria. What does that actually mean?
The question I would like to ask is, do we have the crime SARS is trying to check prevalent in the north? You will see such protests where SARS activity is actually kind of being pronounced, where you have such crimes being pronounced. I'm not too sure the level of crime in the south can be compared to the level of crime. I'm not saying this from any verified fact, but from reports that we hear, I hardly hear many of the kind of crimes that we see in the south.
I think it's a different ballgame there. It's insurgency and all of that, Boko Haram and all of that.
Exactly. And Boko Haram is being handled by the military, not by SARS.
By SARS.
So,
Now, looking at the issue, some people also think that Nigerians went too far, really. Because when the clamor for EndSARS actually began, that was after the issue that happened in Delta State. The IGP came out and restricted the operations of SARS. He said they should no longer be doing road checks or mounting roadblocks. He also said monitoring would actually be done by different officers, and then he said that prosecution of erring SARS officers will also be done. That was what the IGP said as at last week or thereabout, after the incident in Delta State. But Nigerians still went ahead to be clamoring for EndSARS. Do you think, they went too far, really?
Well, the truth of the matter is, they never went too far. It was the probably inconsistency in the side of the Nigerian police that will make Nigeria not want to even, trust them that I mean, was it going to be the first time we are seeing NSAS? I think we had this NSAS of a thing, I mean, not more than 3 or 4 times. We found out that these people will surface again on the road.
4 times in 4 years, SARS was banned.
So, I mean, was there any effect? Was it really banned? You see, that is it. And let me tell you something. It is those people that really got the bad taste of the whole scenario that will be able to tell you their stories. I mean, like I was on a radio station where somebody tweeted to me that in Lagos there was a case of a man that had only one child, a boy, that was sent on an errand, and the boy was shot dead by the SARS of it. I mean, it's quite, those people that really tasted the bitter aspect of the pill will be able to tell you. And I'm telling you, it was the excesses that the SARS has that made them to say that I think this is going to be the last protest, and this is going to be the last time, and it has to be ended, and it was ended. If not for the consensus of the Nigerians that went ahead with all those protests, probably we couldn't have gotten the result. But I want to give the kudos to Mr. President and the IGP himself and the police entirely. I mean, for that decision, they are so responsive, they are so responsible by listening to the people. We're in a democratic setting. I'm telling you, if everybody should say, Mr. President should leave Nigeria today and we go on street, I'm telling you, somebody will advise Mr. President, better go to Guinea-Bissau because people are saying you should go. That's what we're saying. Let us, demonstrate peacefully. Let us tell our leaders, this is what we so much wanted, this is what we deserve, this has to be done. And I'm telling you, they will do it. Kudos to them for that.
Now, PPRO, how concerned really are you? When I say you, I mean you in the force. How concerned are you about the activities of these SARS operatives? Maybe people are reacting simply because they are not in the force. We don't know how you see. I mean, 4 times in 4 years, SARS has been banned, and then quite a number of allegations.
We are making a mistake. SARS has never been banned. Because when people are saying that...
No, when we talk about banned, we're not really talking about being scrapped. Probably pronouncements, and then some of the operations
excuse me,
altered.
The mistake people are making is this. Majority of people cannot differentiate SARS from other police outfits. It's not only SARS that is a tactical squad that we have in the Nigerian police. We have anti-kidnapping unit, we have anti-cultist unit, we have the PMF, we have all these ones that they are all tactical units. We have the IRT, we have the STS. But once our people see anybody in a black polo with gun, or the person is not in uniform, they believe it's SARS. Like the incident in Delta State. What happened in Delta State was not, it has nothing to do with SARS. We have what we call Operation Delta Safe. And those are the policemen that, and the accusation that somebody was shot is untrue. Nobody, the policeman didn't shoot anybody. The guy was actually arrested, and in his bid to escape from this policeman, he jumped out of the police vehicle and he hit his head on the ground. And the police want to carry him to the hospital. Yeah, but the argument that happened in Delta that triggered this thing that we are talking about, and they want to take him to the hospital. The people around, they want to mob the policeman. That is why they leave. Don't forget that the Honorable Minister Festus Keyamo issued a statement that what happened in that place, that is the place he was born, and he grew up there, that nobody was shot, nobody died, and it has nothing to do with SARS. And that is the general misconception from the members of the public. We also had our own in Ogun State a few months ago. Which one? The footballer. Because that issue is in court, I don't want to be commenting on it. No policeman killed the footballer. And I'm still saying it, and I will continue saying it. It's left for people to either agree.
Okay, the issue is in court.
It's in court. So that's why I don't want to talk about it.
Let's start on it. So, but of course, Nigerians have also accused.
So we are not saying that there is no excesses. We are not. That is not what we are saying. Even as holy as Jesus Christ is, out of his 12 disciples, we still have a Judas, isn't it?
Yes.
Talk less of.
Interestingly,
yes. So talk less of, and he took time to choose all the disciples. That is exactly what the Nigerian police used to do. We do background check, we do all sorts of things, we have your fingerprint, we make inquiry from the traditional ruler of your place, your community, that before you are employed as a police officer. But when you get there and you misbehave, that is why we have internal mechanism that was put in place to check all these SSs. Now, but bad egg, let me tell you one thing, bad eggs are banned in every profession. It is not only the police people, it is because police are very, very close to the members of the public. We have bad journalists, we have bad lawyers, we have bad medical doctors. Are we not saying because we have few ones that are bad among them, we should scrap the whole law profession, we should scrap the whole journalism, we should generalize. People believe fallacy of overgeneralization is what I took a section.
People are angry this morning.
No, it's not angry. I'm not angry. I'm trying to, but people, for example,
people believe that the police may not be doing enough in terms of monitoring, curbing, checking, and punishing officers.
That is the area where people are making a very great mistake. If what Nigerian police used to do in curbing the excesses of their men, if every other government parastatus is doing half of it, Nigeria would have been better for it. Let me tell you, some people that have the opportunity of reporting any of our earning officer in any of those offices that is taking care of for these people, they always even end up to be the one begging for them, because they believe that we never know that you can descend so heavily on them. Like, take example of these 4 policemen in Ijebu who are reported to have followed somebody to ATM and the person withdraw 50,000 naira and give to them. The man reported. The 4 of them were not only dismissed, they were charged to court. It got to a stage where the man was even begging that, no, I don't mean it to that extent. I don't want them to be dismissed. I just want them to give. We said no. What the offense they have committed is grievous. We have a SAS officer here in Abeokuta here. His name is Buga Michael. He misbehaved. He was recommended for reduction in rank. When we being an inspector, the CP cannot approve that. He sent it to the AIG. The AIG, after going through the ordinary proceeding, he said no. What he did is more or less a robbery. He should be dismissed and charged to court. He was subsequently dismissed and charged to court. Have you ever heard one day that they say a policeman shot somebody and that policeman still remain in the police? He will be immediately face of the rule trial, dismissed and charged to court. I can go on and tell you the number of cases that police has investigated. How many other government agencies, how many other government parastatals is sacrificing their home? Now,
we also see situations whereby SAS officers or operatives harass Yahoo boys. I don't know.
I don't want us to be justifying criminality. Please.
No, nobody's justifying criminality. But the question is
what you call harassment. That word is always into the mouth of Nigeria. That they are, even if a policeman stop you, they say they are harassing you. How are they harassing them?
Okay. Let me readjust or use another word. We have situations where SAS operatives accost, Yahoo boys in quotes, and then it will begin to question them unnecessarily. Is it part of their duties, their functions, really, to go after
anything that has to do with crime? Is the duty of a police officer. They are general duty policemen. Anybody,
we're also not trying to justify. We are not trying to add legitimacy to Yahoo.
Are you justifying?
Let come in here.
You see, God bless you, Newdawn. My PPRO, sir. I've listened to you, and I always like you because of the passion that you have for your job. And I must confess to you today, we are on air, that you have been doing your job very wonderfully well, and you like your voice very well. I must confess to you, that's the way I see it, my personal opinion. But notwithstanding, my brother, I must go to tell you that, the excesses of those boys were just too much. I must confess to you. Like I said, it was those people that felt the pains and the bitter taste of the pain that would be able to tell you. Unfortunately, you have said that some are dismissed, Buga, etc., etc. Being felt by the Nigerian public. I must tell you that we are not saying that, okay, I mean 1,000 policemen dismissed, 5,000. If that one is in the news, I'm telling Nigerians really have even gone to this extent of protesting. This protest was, even we have celebrities sleeping on the road, telling people that nobody is legitimizing the Yahoo boys. They are not supporting them. Yes, they're still giving us bad name in the international community. We want this thing, to be ended. But there are some things that must not be known to you, that are known to the public, that some people are maimed, killed. I mean, this could not be innocent Nigerians are being given dehumanization treatment of their life that you even regret the day you were ever born. And this was being patronated by the people that we said are in the Nigerian police. But like you rightly said, and I said it to many quarters that, for the mere fact that we have some bad elements in the police force, we cannot generalize, but I must confess to you, the excesses of these guys are too much, and I'm still giving kudos to the Nigerian populace, the Nigerian community for what they did, and kudos to Mr. President too for disbanding them. But we can still restructure and give us a separate anti-robbery squad that is going to be more human, that is going to be more simple in handling Nigerians better the way than these people did.
Okay, I want to.
I think you are not misconstrue my statement. Nobody is telling you that there is nothing like SSs in the part of our men.
I agree.
We are not saying that. But in a situation where we are now overgeneralizing it, is what we are talking about.
I said it.
If you said, if the person that committed the crime has a name, you name and shame them. Anybody that committed one crime, you deal with him, regardless of recent. The police service commissioner dismissed more than, I think, almost 90 policemen, including an assistant commissioner of police. Are you telling me that we have, it's all over in the news? We have assistant commissioner of police being dismissed. We have a superintendent of police being dismissed. A chief superintendent of police being dismissed. A deputy superintendent of police being dismissed. Some are even dismissed and with instruction that no, if you are dismissed, no benefit. After dismissal, you will still be arraigned in court. Which other organization is doing that aside from the Nigerian police?
Okay. Mr. Shonuke, now what does this actually say about our social system in the south? Because I'm trying to take you back to the headline of Guardian this morning. Now, with the scrapping of SARS, now, are you having any fears, especially if the Nigerian police does not quickly replace SARS with something another squad entirely?
I want to take it with mixed feelings. Because the IG also told us that there's going to be some reforms beyond the scrapping of SARS. They're going to introduce things that will not make us feel the absence of SARS. But I'm a little bit concerned in that how soon will that be? We don't know. The situation that we have on our hands, like I said earlier on, is most likely situated by criminals now see it's situated by the people that are harassing us. Have been disbanded. We have a field day.
Yeah.
So that is the fear that I as a person or as a citizen, I am beginning to have. Because like I said earlier, we can actually put some credit to what SARS have done, since their inception. But the issue has to do with the SSS. And I still want to believe that the Nigerian police will have done more in the SSS. I appreciate what the PPR has said. Many of the commissioners are doing so much. But you see, the reality of our system is that it is what gets to your table that you attend to. What about the millions that don't get to your table? What about the millions that are dealt with at the post, at the stations? That is just covered up by the DPO, covered up by, that doesn't get to the PPRO. If I don't know the PPRO, I don't have the PPRO's number, and I cannot get a big weight in the society that can lift me up and expose me. So, these are areas that I think the police needs to. He said they're going to put up a kind of a monitoring team. Let's see that monitoring team work. Let's see how our community policing can expose a lot more that happen down the ladder to the top hierarchy of the police.
Okay. We have been always having monitoring team on ground. Even before the creation of SARS, we have the IGPS squad, we have the monitoring team. Every commissioner of police have monitoring team in their command, and their major job is to look for any erring police officers, and that has been in the existence since the creation of the force. But the effect was not fair. The effect will not be fair because some people who complain. When you complain, you cannot just carry your phone out and report that a builder like this has done so thing. You have to come. There must be evidence. You did not expect us to just bring out a policeman and sacrifice him just like that because somebody make a further accusation. You have to come and present the majority of them when these boys are going through on the room trial. We call them to come and give evidence so that you will know the reason why you are being swayed the way out of the force. some of them will not come, and it does not limit to the police alone. Even our people, when crime is committed against them and you are taking the suspect to court, call them to come and give evidence in court, you will not see them again.
I think this is partly because of the kind of values that we have built into our system, or the deterioration in values. If I am coming out and my safety cannot be guaranteed, how will I come out? So I mean, if, for example, something happened in the police post or in the police station, all the police officers were in unity, were united against me, and you now want me to stand against one of them. I still have the rest there who are still on the street.
You are getting it wrong.
I'm only telling you,
why is it? You are getting it wrong. Why? What happened to the safety of others that have been coming and they have the bravery to come and testify against them? Have you ever had that somebody come to the police station, you reported the police officer, and something happened to that person before? Have you ever had it? It's not possible. It's like when you go to court to give evidence in court against somebody who committed crime against you, and you are now saying because I'm afraid that something might happen to me, and you didn't go. Do you think the court is about Christmas that will just give you what you didn't ask for?
Yes, you see, my PPRO, yes, what you are saying might not be easily substantiated, but what my friend brother Chunke is saying there is that is why you don't see Nigerians even coming out to give information to the police. That they're going to do a robbery scene at that place around 9 a.m. tomorrow. You'll be afraid. Even what we are saying on the air, that people are seeing us, it's not going down very well with some SARS officers that have been disbanded. Anything will happen. We are Nigerians. But I don't want to care about that.
Since we have been talking already, any day. What in a situation? We are just having what we call fear of
what in a situation whereby the officers decide not to allow that thing to go beyond the station, the divisional police station? What happens?
How? You will wrong me. I want to go to somewhere. Will you tie me down that I will not go? If I committed an offense against you now, and you decided to go and report to my boss, do I have the power to tie you down not to go?
No, I'm talking about if the person has got to
if something happened at the station,
okay,
a policeman committed an infraction against you, you reported maybe to the DPO or to the DCO, and they have been able to take appropriate action, and you believe that anyway, what they have done, I'm satisfied with it. So be it.
They have been able to take appropriate action at what point? I've got to report.
At what level?
At what extent?
At what point are you saying that they don't want the thing to go outside the station? What will make you to agree that this matter should not go?
Are you saying people should just report and leave?
No, you don't report and leave. When a policeman committed an infraction against your person, you have the right to meet his DPO and complain to him. If the DPO did not do what pleases you, you can go to the area commander, you can come to the state command to report such police officer.
I'd like you to tell us, maybe there are some things that we don't know. Majority of those who have accused, who we have known to have accused SARS of hard-handedness, are those who that we decide to call yellow boys, in quote. Maybe there are some things you don't know they are doing that you know. Tell us.
I wouldn't want to dwell so much on that issue. You know why? This issue of hand SARS of 18 it can be best described as a coordinated attack by majorly by these cyber fraudsters. Yes, they are the people championing the cause because they believe that SARS is their problem. Even if just ordinary policeman who has nothing to do with SARS accosted them, they believe it's SARS. So that is why you can see that their voice was so loud about this thing that this thing must go. It's because of what is maybe and they have forgotten that police still has what we call anti-fraud section.
Maybe the process
because yes, the anti-fraud section can still go after them because what they are doing is still legitimate.
Maybe the process of their prosecution is wrong. We also had cases of SARS chasing Yahoo boys to ATM points,
Collecting
money from them.
Those are the excesses we are talking about.
Great.
Those are the excesses we are talking about because you have no reason. If somebody you accuse somebody of being a thief, you now ask him that from the proceeds of your crime, let us share from it. You yourself, you are a criminal.
Yes, you don't such criminals. Some criminals will not come and report such things.
That is, it is because they believe. It's like an armed robber now. If two armed robbers fight, or they are meeting the proceeds of robbery, one cheated the other. Can you go to the police station? They won't. And they now believe that since they cannot openly come out to say these people, this is what they do, because they know quite well that the source of their own money too is questionable.
Okay, now,
so they now believe that what we should do is let's hide under this.
We are not. We are on hot seat, no doubt. This morning. Now, those members of SARS, they are still existing in the force. Yes. You can only talk about the state anyway. Now, how do you reform their psyche?
We are making a mistake. Let me tell you one thing.
Yes.
SARS is just a unit of the Nigerian police.
Okay.
Somebody who is in traffic section today can find himself in SARS tomorrow. Somebody in SARS can be demobbed from SARS and be posted to be a prosecutor in court. Yes.
Okay.
That is why we call them general duty policemen. By the time, they were specially trained to combat armed robbery and violent crime. Not everybody will have the liver to carry on to go and face robbers. No, that is why they were given a special training. And all these behaviors they were associating with them is because of the office where they are working, because a drastic problem needs drastic solution. They are the only outfit that can spontaneously react to any violent crime. And do you know how many number of them that we have lost? That die in the course of protecting life and property in the line of duty? Do you know how many of them that were mowed down by all these hoodlums? If I start telling you the number of policemen that we have lost to all these criminals, you may not believe it. And unfortunately, no newspaper will put it in the front banner. If I thought they want to report it, they will look at one obscure
if people don't get to know about all of these things, there's no way they will report them.
There is no way they will not know. Now, by the time all of them now, that's okay. You are defense SARS now. Go back to let's say traffic section. Do you still expect him to behave the same way he's briefing to arm robber to where he's controlling traffic, or where he's investigating the case of accident? It's not possible.
Anyway, we'll take a few calls, like 2, 3, 4 calls before we close the program, because I know a whole lot of people are itching to contribute on this particular topic. We're looking at the disbandment of. Okay, we have a caller already. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Elder, good morning.
Thank you very much.
Quickly, your point, Elder.
Thank you very much, Elder. They say they have been banned the staff. But what next? Who is our protector? Who will protect us now? It's not only the police who have the bad egg. If there is any society like one that officer is training, the police have order, they have order, they have children. When the police officer is sick, nobody talk about it. And the issue is that now that they ban them, they are now embarrassing the innocent one. Only 5% actually commit this offense. Most of the 95% are not committed the offense in the police force. Does it mean that if anybody look at Nigerian police and look at an armed robber or as a chief? No, just like that. In every society of Nigeria, we have that one. Let them get those who are informed in this time to secure them, and let us be police for our own protection. They are always everywhere. They are part of the society. So this is what I want to say. What that officer is saying there, I quite support him. And let me tell you, that incident happened sometimes. An armed robber just a friend in patient, a police officer, one is Okaro, carry that victim, say it's only to see that
All right.
Let's all be careful. In the surface of this time, we do very careful. We are not able. Then police do something quick.
Thank you, sir.
Those people are protesting.
Thank you.
Some of them are hand robbers. Some of them are bad.
Thank you.
That's what I want to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Elder from Alimosho in Lagos. Elder there. We'll still take a few more before we close. While
wait for other calls. Okay,
okay, that's another one there. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, my name is
Comrade Taiwo, good morning.
Yes, I had wanted to run a movement about ASTAT, the FONSTAT, because I put standard yesterday. So I think that opportunity to adopt that and another movement. It is there in my right now. Yes, because I believe that something is right is not the solution of it for anything. I don't say what is going to be the now, we in the community now, we are being apprehensive about this stuff. Because these people that we call, whenever we are in this place, that they have been done, the financial pressure that the acts are in place to pushing the set of this stuff, every time the new outfit to be set up. Hello?
Hello, yes. BPRO will respond to that.
And finally, with the BPRO, you are very active and innocent of them. I want to give it to you. You are very good innocent. You are following the footsteps of Oluwadijobi. That's right. Please, it is very important that all police officers must be in uniform as a matter of urgency right now because the people are angry. God bless you.
All right. You need to respond to that quickly. He said, are you competent enough to say that? Because IGP has said that according to the release you also issued today that a new outfit will actually come on board.
Yes. We are waiting for the directive from the Force Headquarters, and I believe that it will not take a long time before that will happen.
Okay, let's take this last call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm calling. I listened to the program.
Yeah.
Fortunately, what the PPRO is talking about, I think is a little bit biased in the sense that what about the innocent children that are being killed by this past officials? We are not looking at that those innocent ones they are not their own guys. But they are being killed one way or the other. And we are not talking about that. That is not fair. Yes, they send away some of their police officers that are part of SSA. But yes, there are still a number of them that are killing innocent children. And what do you want those families, those parents to do after being killed?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have just 4 minutes to go on the program this morning. But I think one thing we have established generally with the disbandment of SARS and with all this outcry is the fact that we now be proper behavior, even if another outfit comes back, in the form of SARS, and proper behavior on the part of Nigerian youth, because I think they are the ones that are mostly affected by this issue. Is that your point too?
Yeah, it's my point. But beyond that, in any relationship, trust is key. I think the police force needs to work on doing things that will make the citizenry to trust the police.
Well, I think it's better that the police will just give us an impression and give us a kind of an atmosphere that we can trust them. They're supposed to be our friends. Police is your friends. What we've been hearing, they need to be our friend, and they must give us that opportunity to really believe in them and trust them.
We want you to wrap it up.
Thank you. I thought the last caller, he was talking about some innocent people who have been killed. And I want to challenge him to tell us if any of this killing that he's talking about, that the officers involved has not been adequately dealt with. If we arrest an officer, we dismiss him and we charge him to court, are we the one that will pronounce judgment on him? We are not. It is the court until when the court pronounce the judgment. And I want us to believe, to know that the issue of security, it has to be a sort of a mutual understanding. Because if you are a police officer and the person you are to police if they are not in agreement with you, there is going to be a problem. And there's going to be a sort of a reciprocatory understanding between us. The moment when the police officer in Nigeria, when you stop, take for example somebody in traffic, you stop a vehicle, the first thing that will come out of that driver is, what is your problem? And from here you will see them using their vehicle, pushing a police officer out of the road. I read a journal where in America where somebody was jailed for 6 months for spitting on a police officer. Here they are slapping policemen. They are hitting them. You see the video of a woman in Ibadan who slapped a police officer for good 30 times. And that policeman was looking at her like this. And she continuously slapping this policeman. But if that policeman retaliated once, he slapped that woman back, it will go viral. Some people are so mischievous that when they want to make video, they will do the one that capture what the policeman did wrong. They will edit out the one that what somebody has been doing to that policeman, and they will throw it in the internet. And people started shouting, police brutality. What if police too want to show the type of harassment they will are receiving from members of the public? I think we will not be able to complete it on this program.
Anyway, Peter, you have done well on this program this morning. We thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Mr. Joke, we thank you so much for coming. Dominic, we have to go.
Yes, we also thank our viewers. Thank you so much for your time with us on the program. That's the size of the program Newdawn for today. Otunjo will be here tomorrow. Myself and Biodun will be back here next week, Monday, to serve you another wonderful edition of the program. Have a wonderful day and do have a nice week ahead.